If she's slipping from your life, this is how you make her come back. Not by running after her, not by chasing her energy. And definitely not by letting fear shape your next move. Most men think the more effort they show, the more they prove they care, the more a woman will respect them or want them. But the truth is brutally simple when you chase. You flip the dynamic when you chase. She leads when she leads, she decides everything, the pace, the direction, the outcome, and the moment you let that happen, attraction begins to die. But today, I'm not here to tell you to ignore her or play games, or act like you don't care. That's childish. What I want to give you is something completely different: the mindset, the psychology, and the masculine steadiness that makes a woman walk toward you willingly, because the moment you stop chasing and start leading, everything shifts. Now, to understand why this works, you need to understand the foundation, how attraction actually operates. Biologically and emotionally, women don't choose with pure logic. They choose with a mix of instinct, emotion, and subconscious signals. A woman follows a man who has direction, who has certainty, who moves with intention. She follows the man who doesn't break under pressure, who doesn't react out of panic, who doesn't fold when things don't go his way. That type of man triggers something deep in her: respect, curiosity, desire, and yes, the urge to follow. If you're like most men, you've probably been in this situation. Things were good, she was warm, she was affectionate, she was initiating, she was excited, then slowly she pulled back. Text got shorter, her tone changed, she became busy. She stopped asking about your day. She didn't laugh at your jokes the same way. Suddenly you felt something slipping, and you panicked, and in that panic you chased. You invested more, you checked in more, you tried to fix things faster. You responded instantly, you gave up your routine. You tried to reassure her. You tried to convince her you were good enough, that she shouldn't leave, that she should stay. But here's the thing: no one tells you the moment you start convincing, explaining, or begging for reassurance, she feels something inside herself drop, her respect for you. And once a woman loses respect, attraction follows. Women don't fall for men because they chase. They fall for men who remain calm while everything around them shakes. So let's shift your mindset into the masculine position, the position of leadership. Not dominance, not control, but leadership, leadership of your emotions, your time, your purpose, your direction. And the first step is simple: stop responding instantly. When you reply instantly, you send the message: my world pauses for you. You're telling her your attention is more important than my mission. But a confident man doesn't stop his life for a notification. He continues with his day, his work, his training, his peace. He responds from stability, not from anxiety. And women feel that difference more deeply than you think. Step to build a life she can join, not a life centered around her. A man with no direction becomes a man dependent on her validation. And the moment she senses that dependency, she pulls away. But a man with purpose, a man with a schedule, a man who invests in himself, a man who has things going on, that man is attractive without trying. Women don't want to be your entire world, they want to be excited to be part of a world that's already full of growth and movement. Next, you need to reshape your emotional availability. Not by becoming cold or detached, that's not leading. That's stonewalling, but you become steady. You become emotionally grounded when she pushes. You don't push back when she tests. You don't crumble when she pulls away. You don't panic, you allow space. You hold your frame. You stay composed. Women aren't attracted to emotional chaos. They're attracted to emotional gravity. And then there's a powerful principle show. Don't tell every insecure man tries to tell a woman he's confident. He's different, he's improving, he's healing. He's changing, but words mean nothing compared to silent action. A woman doesn't trust what you say, she trusts what she feels. She trusts the man whose actions align with his values. She trusts the man whose energy is calm even when she's distant. She trusts the man who is consistent with himself, not the man who changes to please her. And one of the strongest moves you can make is so simple yet so rare. Let your absence speak instead of chasing after her attention. Let her feel the shift. Let her feel what life is like without your presence. Not to manipulate her, but to allow the truth to surface. If she really cares, she will move toward you. If she doesn't, then you just saved yourself months or years of misaligned connection that was never meant to last. Let me give you a real story. Something that happens more often than you think. A guy named Mark, good guy, great job, active lifestyle. Confident personality, women liked him easily. But one day he met a girl he really liked more than the others, and everything changed. He stopped being himself. He answered her messages instantly. He put aside his hobbies. He stopped hanging with his friends. He changed his plans just to be available. He became nervous, overly thoughtful, overly attentive, overly involved, and slowly she lost interest. Not because she didn't like him, but because he stopped being the man she was originally attracted to. When Mark finally understood the mistake, he pulled back. He returned to his routine. He focused on his health again. He became busy again naturally. Not strategically, he became centered again. He responded calmly, not instantly. He spoke slower, moved slower, acted with intention. 2 weeks later, she reached out more. She initiated conversations. She asked about his day. She wondered why he seemed different. She asked when they could see each other again. Why? Because the polarity returned. Because he stopped chasing and started leading himself. Women don't follow men who chase them. Women follow men who lead themselves, and understand this. Leading doesn't mean controlling her. Leading means controlling your inner world. Leading means being the man who walks forward even when the situation feels uncertain. Leading means understanding your value, even when she's not currently showing it. Women can sense self-worth the same way they can sense insecurity. A woman doesn't follow a man who fears losing her. She follows the man who knows he won't lose himself. Now let's dig deeper into why this works. Attraction in the female brain is tied to dopamine, not comfort. Dopamine spikes when there's excitement, uncertainty, anticipation, challenge, and direction. But when you chase, you remove all of that. You make yourself predictable. You make yourself safe in a boring way. You remove the emotional contrast. You remove the mystery. You remove the desire. Women want a man who is consistent but not predictable, strong but not needy, emotionally aware but not emotionally dependent, present but not obsessed. And when you reclaim this balance, something powerful happens. You no longer fear losing her, and when you no longer fear losing her, she instinctively feels that she can't lose you. That is the reversal. That is where the attraction rebuilds. Here's another truth. Your silence often says more than your words ever could. Silence is not punishment. Silence is clarity. Silence is breathing room. Silence is space for her to think. For you to think, for both of you to reset your emotional rhythm. Some women pull away because they're confused. Some distance themselves because they're overwhelmed. Some retreat because they don't know how they feel yet. If you chase in those moments, you amplify their confusion. If you stay grounded, you give them the safety to come back with clarity. And remember this: when a woman respects you, she will stay. When a woman respects you, she will follow. When a woman respects you, she will invest. Respect comes before love. Respect comes before loyalty. Respect comes before long-term connection, and nothing destroys. Respect faster than a man who abandons himself to keep her. Your job isn't to convince her. Your job isn't to chase her. Your job isn't to constantly check if she still wants you. Your job is simple. Become the man she naturally gravitates toward, not because you beg for her attention, but because you embody the kind of energy that invites attention, the kind of energy that inspires trust. So ask yourself right now, what version of you does she meet? The kind of energy that leads. The version who's panicking, the version who's overthinking. The version who's afraid of losing her. Or the version who stands tall even in uncertainty. Because that version, the calm, grounded, purpose-driven version of you, is the version she can't ignore. And if you're ready to become that man, if you're ready to stop chasing and start leading, if you're ready to step into the version of yourself that she can't walk away from, then I want you to do just one thing. As a promise that from this moment on, you stop being the man who chases and you become the man who leads. Comment you and irresistible below, not for me, for yourself.